I always wanted to do this, and I never did. But whenever I heard the Oscars was not having a host, I thought it would be the perfect time to actually do it. And it is basically me doing the monologue for the Oscars. So what we're going to do is we're going to play it. We're going to react to it, kind of, and we're going to talk about how we did certain things, why we wrote certain things, the behind-the-scenes look of how we filmed it, and just how we put together the whole package, and some other stuff. All right, so let's watch this thing. Hopefully the audio is good. So it's gotten this bad, huh? So this is how low it has really gotten. The Academy reaches out to a deplorable, sexual deviant who spends most of his time alone at his house making YouTube videos that nobody asked for, that no one will see, and even Kevin Spacey turns you down. So the first thing you'll notice is the laugh track, right? I went back and forth with this for a while because I wasn't sure if I wanted to add the laugh track or if I didn't. And then when I thought about it, I was already like suspending belief. So I figured that it wouldn't make sense if I didn't have the laugh track. Normally I wouldn't add a laugh track. Like other videos we've done where we've told jokes or whatever, we wouldn't put a laugh track. But in this video, I felt like it was necessary. So we blurred the lines of what is like obviously fake and what just kind of works with the flow of the video. So that's why we have the laugh track, and that's why we cut to the audience. So how I made this video, so whenever I decided to do it, I wrote the entire script, right? I just wrote the jokes, wrote the script. I tried to research the nominees. I tried to research all that stuff and kind of just come up with basically an Oscars version of the show that we have on this channel, the Your Week with James Skrmetta show, where we just take topical stuff and we make jokes. So I write the script. Takes like 2 days to write the script, no big deal. And I knew I had to be standing. So that was a big problem. Because I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to stand and get the camera to get the appropriate shot? So we have a studio, right? So the studio is a 10 by 10 room. All right. So I'm thinking, how am I going to stand far enough away from the green screen to not cast a shadow? Because the further I get to the green screen, like, let's see, you should be able to see a shadow. Man, this is pretty good. Okay, see under my arm? See how it's all messed up? So if you have a shadow, then the green screen, it doesn't work, right? So you want to be about 10 feet away from a green screen. That's the appropriate distance. Well, in a 10 by 10 room, that's not possible because you have a camera, you, and the green screen, right? So I had to figure out a way to get close enough to the camera to get the shot, but far enough from the green screen. So I had to move the entire studio. I had to take the computer, had to take the microphones, had to take the computer, had to take all the wires, the mixers, all that stuff. I had to move it to a bigger room. So I had to go to the bigger room. I had to move the green screen, everything. So we get out there, get in the tux, and I'm about to do it. And I'm like, oh shit, I have to do this all at once. Because I'm thinking I'll tell a joke, I'll stop, I'll tell a joke, I'll stop, I'll edit. But I couldn't do that. Because I'm thinking, if there's an edit after every single joke, it's going to look ridiculous. So now I'm literally in the tux, and I'm like, I have to give a 9-minute speech, basically. And I said, "Fuck it. We're just going to do it live. We're just going to let it rip, dog." And so this whole thing that you see was given at one time. It was all given at one time. It wasn't cut up. It wasn't an edit job. It wasn't like it didn't take me 20 takes. You know, these are identical. These are 9-minute long videos. The only edits is where we cut my part of the video out, put in the reaction, and then put the other part. That's the only edits. When it gets zoomed in, when it gets out, same video. Welcome, I am James Skrmetta, your host tonight at the Academy Awards, the Oscars, presented to you live from the Dolby Theater here in sunny Los Angeles, California. This year marks the 91st Oscars Awards. Can you believe it? 91. 91. That is old. 91 is too old. Well, unless you're Pete Davidson about 2 breakups from now, then 91 is just right. This year marks the first time in modern Oscars history where there is no host. Well, before I showed up. This, of course, came after Kevin Hart relinquished his hosting duties after some edgy comments, we'll say. Now, don't feel bad for Kevin. Kevin is fine. Kevin will bounce back. It was just recently announced that Kevin is starring in the motion picture adaptation of the popular board game Monopoly, where Kevin will be playing the role, I can only presume, of the thimble. That was probably my favorite joke. But this was also difficult because I knew that I was going to put in the laugh track, but I also knew that I had no clue how long the actual laughs would be because I didn't have the audio for the laugh track. I didn't have the audio yet. So when I'm doing this, I'm in my head. I have to think, okay, how long do I need to pause? You know, how long do I need to give them to do the laugh? How long do I need to give the beat? So not only am I trying to remember the 9-minute long speech, but I'm also trying to add in fake laughter that doesn't exist. The laughter, by the way, was taken from previous award show speeches. So I went and YouTube like the Oscar monologues from like last year, probably the last 3 years, and then a bunch of like Golden Globes and a bunch of different award shows. Took the audio and cut out the laugh tracks. That also made it difficult because most of the time the performer would be talking during the beginning or the end of the laugh. So I had to edit it to where I cut out them talking and then put in fade in and fade out for the laughter so that it sounded relatively real. Now the Academy did have a list of replacements, of possible replacements, before I showed up. Billy Crystal could have filled in. The great Billy Crystal. Only problem was, if Billy would have punched one more hole in his Oscars hosting card, they would have actually had to give him an Oscar. And they just weren't that desperate. Louis C.K. could have hosted. The great Louis C.K. Only problem there is no one would have sat in the first couple rows. Louis kind of gives a new meaning to the term splash zone. Don't feel bad for Louis either. Louis is doing fine. Just before I walked out here, I heard that he sold out 6 straight shows across Florida, all across the state. I mean, I'm glad to hear that. You know, after everything that happened, I'm glad to see that Louis's career hasn't petered out. Now, Kevin Spacey was not on the list. Don't get me wrong. He's on a list. Oh, he's on a list. Just not this list. I'll stop, I promise, I'll stop. But, you know, now that I think about it, maybe if Kevin would have said that more often, he wouldn't be in such hot water. But each laugh that you hear is usually about like 5 or 6 different sound bites, all molded into one laughter. It's like a mixture of like 3 laugh tracks and 1 applause track to try and get the fade all right. So the sound took forever. The sound editing took a long time. I'm going to put my cans on so I can hear a little better.
Tonight is not about me. Tonight is not about hosts. Tonight is about movies. Tonight is about cinema, motion pictures, the best of the best. The movies this year that moved us. The movies this year that made us laugh. The movies this year that made us cry. That's what tonight's all about. Speaking of the best, Bradley Cooper is here.
That's probably my favorite transition of the video. That was probably my favorite one because that was the one that was the most like kind of just fit perfect. This is actually from the Golden Globes, so that was the only part that wasn't perfect. Is that the background's different, like they're sitting at tables or whatever. But that was a good thing about having the Golden Globes a couple weeks ago is that I knew that I would have Bradley Cooper and Rami video.
Great Bradley Cooper.
Also, whenever I say the great, like the great Bradley Cooper, the great Billy Crystal, the great whatever, that's a callback or a shout out to Norm Macdonald, who always introduces people as the great. So, and Norm Macdonald is one of my like inspirations, I guess, or someone I've watched a lot of their content, and I'd like to give him some love every once in a while.
Bradley is nominated for Best Actor for his unforgettable role in A Star is Born. Incredibly deserved. I actually recently heard a very sweet story about Bradley. I hope you don't mind me sharing. I hope you're not embarrassed. Bradley brought his own mother as his date this year to the SAG Awards.
He also brought her to the Oscars as well, but this was obviously filmed before the Oscars.
Very sweet. But let's be honest. At her age, they're all the SAG Awards. Am I right? Also, from A Star is Born, the great Sam Elliott.
Big fan of that joke. It's a little edgy. I don't know if they would actually have told it in like real, if you were really doing it, but I liked it too much to cut it.
Best mustache in cinema, I say. If you ask me, best mustache around, Sam. Sam is nominated for Best Supporting Actor for A Star is Born. Now look, I'm the biggest Sam Elliott fan here. No offense, but I think you kind of stole this nomination. I mean, if anybody did the most supporting in A Star is Born, it was that rope, right? Bradley, back me up on this.
If you don't get that joke, don't want to spoil the ending, but at the end of A Star is Born, Bradley Cooper kills himself, and he hangs himself in his garage. So that's what that joke. That's that joke. The reason I explain the joke is because I have not seen A Star is Born. So the movies I didn't see, I read their synopsis. I had to read their like recap, and I knew that was the end. So that's where that joke came from. So that's the support, is the support of the rope holding his lifeless body.
The cast of Black Panther is here. Yeah, Black Panther, nominated for Best Picture, will forever be known as the movie that asked questions. Will forever be known as the movie that changed Hollywood forever. Black Panther will forever be known as this year's second best movie featuring the character Black Panther. It was
very true. Avengers was way better than Black Panther.
Huge year for superhero movies. Speaking of Avengers, Chris Pratt is here. Chris Pratt featured in the third installment of the Avengers franchise, Infinity War. Chris played the role of Star-Lord. Chris also starred in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, where he played the role of Star-Lord with dinosaurs this time, kind of. It wasn't just a big year for Chris on the screen, though. It was a big year off as well. After just 7 months of dating, Chris got engaged to Katherine Schwarzenegger. Congratulations. Yeah, that's Schwarzenegger. Yeah. When I heard the news, I was excited. I'm sure all of you are as well. I'm still excited to hear who his third wife will be. Rami Malek is here. Rami, go ahead. Rami is nominated
I really like this transition as well.
for Best Actor for his incredible, breathtaking performance. His transformative performance as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody has changed how we view movies from the world of music. In fact, right now, more movies from that world, from the world of music, are being made more than ever. Peter Jackson, former Best Picture winning director, right now is directing a movie on the life of the Beatles. Peter, if you haven't already, would you mind if I suggest a title? How about Fellowship of the Ringo? Think about it. Peter, hey, call me. I've got ideas. I've got ideas for days.
Fun fact, I didn't realize this until last night, but Peter Jackson and Lord of the Rings, all three movies were nominated for Best Picture. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty nuts.
Now, unfortunately, not every movie can be nominated. Not every picture can be Best Picture. Not every actor can be Best Actor. Not every actress can be Best Actress. And fans are not happy about that. Many fans have been in hysterics on social media all week. All week. In fact, the movie with the rowdiest fans, Paddington 2. Who would have guessed? This whole week, fans from Paddington 2 have been just hounding people on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, begging for Paddington 2 to be put up as Best Picture. Now, to those fans, to the fans of Paddington 2, to all the ones that are very upset, I want to talk to you directly. My heart goes out to you. It really does. Because I'm sure that tonight, the Oscars will be totally unbearable.
That was probably like the best written joke, I guess, the most precise joke. And the transition, I didn't even realize it at the time. I didn't realize William Dafoe was nominated for Best Actor, so that made that even better in hindsight. So I was pretty happy with that one.
But what are movies really? Movies really are an escape from reality. Movies are a way for us to detach from the trials and tribulations of life, the controversies we face, the political issues. Movies are our escape. That's what we're celebrating. That's what we're applauding tonight. Not me, not the host. And I applaud each and every actress in here, each and every actor, each and every director, each and every producer for giving us those moments, for giving us that chance. Y'all have come together in this room, all from different walks of life, from ethnicities, from backgrounds, from cultures. You've come here to celebrate the thing that you hold most dear. To put in the spotlight the one thing that you love more than anything else in the world. Yourselves. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a fantastic night. The 91st Oscars are here.
So there it is. There's the video. Again, really was happy with how it came out. That was one of those projects that's just a fun little project I wanted to do. Wanted to see if we could do it, how hard it would be. And those little challenging things I enjoy doing. So, this is one of those videos. This is a good example of a video where I enjoyed the process more than the actual video. Because I knew that the actual video would have limitations as far as like how good the transitions would be, how good the laugh track transitions would be. So I knew that there would be limitations with that. But during the process of writing the script, getting the shot, the lighting, the actually performing the script, this was a really, really fun project to do. So I definitely enjoyed this one for sure. And the Oscar night, we dropped it right after the Oscars began, and it took off kind of slow, and then today it picked up, and it has, I think, somewhere around 5,000 views, something like that. So yeah, so it's got like 5,000 views, 5,086 views. So pretty happy with it. A lot of the times when you do videos like this, like right now it has 23 likes and 30 dislikes, and almost all, maybe not all, but most of the videos that get a lot of views, a lot of the times will have a high like dislike ratio, and pretty much just because people are haters, So I don't really put too much stock into it, to be honest, with stuff like that. I just enjoy the process and enjoy creating. And creating this kind of stuff is fun. It's very, very fun. All the engagement's dope. We new subscribers to the channel. People checked out podcasts and other videos. So all that stuff is cool, man. All that stuff is cool.